Welcome one and all to the death
Yeah.
battle of
Yeah.
Yusuke versus Ichigo. Urameshi versus Kurosaki.
It's a Chaos Battle for the ages.
Fucking
Yeah.
announcer voice.
We're gonna see the death battle level of.
Yeah, this is some screw attack shit, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's not really. They haven't done this yet, but this is.
But
like
no, but you know they do it though. This is a thing they do.
All right, so
Thurman, you
Yeah,
want to start by introducing Mr. Urameshi?
before we introduce our characters, standard, full powered composite. That's not out of tier, Random. Let's do. David, give us a battlefield.
How about we go to the fucking Soul Society and we'll start literally 50 yards away. And it'll be, I don't. Would the energy need to be equalized there, Master Debater?
Let's just say anyway, because are we saying that Yusuke can see him or cannot see him?
Of course he can see him. He's a spirit detective, dude.
Yeah, but you know how
He can fucking see him.
Like, if you don't have Ration, you can't see a Soul Reaper.
He can fucking see him. You got a problem with that? Leave a dislike and suck my cock and then leave. Alright, he can see him. Moving on.
Alright, and energy equalized, yes.
Yes, so introduce Mr. Urameshi, Thurman.
So, it's a long story. Yusuke Urameshi, one of Togashi's first MCs, better than
Insert the meme here.
Yusuke was just an ordinary delinquent, the very stereotypical delinquent in manga. He likes to smoke, etc., etc., etc. But one day, he was killed because he was saving a boy who was almost run off by a car. Little did he know, however, the boy would have survived anyway. So he died for nothing.
What a Togashi level punch to the dick.
Anyway, while he was dead, although the anime probably never covered this, he roamed the undead as like not a spirit detective yet, but he was able to,
Are you talking about the scene where he sees his own grave and he sees his own funeral and like
it was before he was like an official spirit detective. He was just roaming around.
Right, yeah. Wasn't that the part where he was like getting their attention and like trying to like get them to notice that he's there, and then he like
Yeah,
that was in the anime. The anime was good. The anime was not bad at all for Yu Hakusho.
well, I heard that they skipped over like the first arc of Yu Yu Hakusho. That's why I said that.
Really? I guess I wouldn't know. I haven't read the manga, but I had heard that it was a good anime adaptation. I'll check it out one day. I'm gonna read the manga, but go ahead, continue.
So basically, Yusuke was met with I have to look up his name, but think of like DBZ's like King Yama.
Isn't it like Yema or like really close to the name? I'm gonna Google it right now so we know.
It's similar to can you look it up, Red? It's similar to like Goku's Dragon Ball Z's King Yama. But anyway.
Yeah, it's that Japanese folklore shit, right?
Yes, he was told that he can come back alive, but he would come back alive. I was like, I'm skipping some plot points here. Basically, Yusuke came back alive, and now he was a spirit detective. A spirit detective basically handles supernatural cases with yokai and other stuff. And while all that was happening, Togashi decided, why not have a little tournament with plot and fighting in there. And Yusuke is actually one of the good main shonen protagonists. So I'm going to be doing him off. He's actually since he's been fighting, he's a very tough middle schooler. He's been fighting all his life. That's not a joke, by the way. He has. And,
no, he has.
And as a spirit detective, I'm ready to see what Ichigo Kurosaki has to offer against.
Oh, it'd be an interesting case, certainly. Now, do you want to talk about like his like moves and stuff now, or do you want to?
No, I just want to do complete introduction with no moves at all.
Gotcha.
Then then we'll
Okay,
just
so
jump right
just
into it.
character-wise, first of all, I do want to clarify as the person defending Ichigo here. When it comes to who's the better character, it's by far, no doubt in my mind, Yusuke. Like, he's a better character, but this is who would win a fight. So, do keep that in mind. Yusuke, anyone written by Togashi. Togashi's fucking fodder characters are better than Kubo's best characters, alright?
Okay, I know we were turning this from a death battle to a Shade Throne video.
So, anyway, Ichigo Kurosaki. Oh my god. Well, 15 years old, which the joke with every Bleach fan is this motherfucker's 15, but look at him, god damn, he looks like a fucking 25-year-old bodybuilder. It's ridiculously stupid. But 15-year-old, he just started high school when the show started, and so he's probably a teensy bit older than Yusuke, because he was still in middle school, yeah?
Yeah, he was in middle school.
so-
I don't know if he was in third year.
So that and his whole thing was he could see ghosts. Now, unlike Yusuke, I know, like, he started seeing them once he died, obviously, but Ichigo just kind of had that ability. Later revealed the reason he had that ability was because his parents were both supernatural beings, his mother being a Quincy and his father being a Soul Reaper. But yeah, so he just thought it was some fucking thing that he could do. He was just like, I guess I've just been able to do it since I was like 10. So yeah, he could see ghosts, and it, for a while it was just kind of an annoyance and a nuisance. But one day, fucking, this crazy monster one appears, and at the same time, a Soul Reaper appears. A Soul Reaper fighting the monsters, and these monsters are called Hollows. When this is happening, this monster, Hollow, almost kills his family, and Ichigo, being the type that's like, fuck no, you ain't touching my family, he rushes in like an idiot, but he can't do anything, because he's got nothing, so he tries to hit it with a chair. It's not gonna do anything, right? But trying to save Ichigo in this moment of stupidity, the Soul Reaper named Rukia, almost gets killed, kind of like sacrifices herself, and really gets grievously injured, and because of how injured she is, the only thing she can do, really, is attempt to transfer her powers over to him. And she basically says that, like, there's a strong chance that this will straight up kill you, but it's either we both die now by this hollow, or I try to send these powers to you by basically stabbing you through the center of your soul, and then, see if it works. And it did. And he actually ends up, she wanted to only transfer half of her powers. He actually ends up taking all of her powers. And he becomes a full-fledged Shinigami. They call him a substitute Shinigami. But yeah, that's for character. That's pretty much him.
Nothing else.
I mean, he was like punkish in the beginning. He had the first couple arcs, like the first 2 arcs, I think, was Ichigo. Ichigo was a good character in the beginning. He had a punk kind of attitude. He was very punkish, but it was different than Yusuke. Yusuke was just kind of like a prick, kind of punk. Ichigo was like he just had attitude. Ichigo reminded me of how David is now. Just like I don't give a fuck, but he has a good heart, right? My only problem with Ichigo is, as the story went on, character-wise, his character started to degrade. But this is about the battle, and I might even do an analysis video on why Ichigo's character fucking failed later. But yeah, you want to move on to basic techniques and what Yusuke can do on your end?
Right. So, at the start of this already, I can already see how this will go down, because I remember you telling me, Red, that they're equal in speed. So obviously I'll still post.
I don't remember. You'd have to give me some speed feats for Yusuke.
Yeah, so I'll show some speed feats for Yusuke, but also the way I see this, if it's true that their speed is of the same level, then I can see this being a contest of who can dish out more, who can take more. I could see that so first I'm just gonna show some lightning speed feats. He fought this demon who had captured his love interest, and he had the ability to manipulate lightning. Obviously, it was I would consider this to be Yusuke's first hard fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yusuke was able to react to this stuff. Obviously, he was hit. Still, so this could count as a speed feat and a durability feat, because he was able to react to the lightning, but obviously he was hit. And lightning has been scientific stuff, Red. You love that stuff.
Mm-hmm, I do.
Lightning has
and this
been
actually does look like lightning, not the bullshit that you talk about.
Hey, blame the artist. You know this is to God.
No, this is lightning. I can tell because he's channeling it, and he's just changing the direction of it. It's not like he's producing it from his body.
But you know that's how Togashi works. So I don't know why you've been saying that.
Togashi.
You know, it's becoming such a habit to say Togashi instead of Togashi.
That's just his name now.
So it's been stated that lightning is almost as hot as the surface of the sun.
Okay. Good thing I have Ichigo fighting a lightning person too.
It's close. So lightning is close to Sun Tim. So I'm sending that screenshot right now for the proof. So you can put that up there. There you go. That was just hotter. Obviously, the sun is hotter, but lightning was pretty damn close
like
to
at
it.
that moment, it burned. Now, I do want to remind you, Thurman, that's what that is it's like an instant of being that hot. You are aware that there are people in our like actual just normal human beings in our world that have survived being struck by lightning. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, I know that.
I just want to make sure you know it's not like an impossible feat, like even for just normal humans.
Yeah. So right off the bat, we have lightning feats. Okay. So that's the one thing Ichigo will have to do with, or unless he's lightning speed, then you can just add that for proof that it was there.
He is lightning speed. That's actually how they describe in the data book. They describe his Bankai as being lightning speed.
I don't doubt that he is. So so let's go towards. So already we have a good durability feat right there. So let's go through. Let's start with durability for Yusuke. So we all know how strong Toguro is. Toguro, one of the best villains. At 10%, Toguro can just literally poke off the head of a human.
Oh yeah, power scaling time. You said in that shit. That's a good Togashi panel. The spicy meatball.
I would say about. So Toguro was also able to increase, like Toguro had the ability to increase his strength a certain percentage, like 10%, 20%, 80%, 100%, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And at 80%, he's casually just like melting down these class demons. He at 80%, his mere presence was just like melting weak demons who didn't have enough, I would say, power level.
Okay.
Now, Toguro's flicks were actually causing like air pressure. Like he was so strong, like the air pressure was like moving.
Ah, yes, I remember that.
So I'm sending a few feats there.
And what we're doing right now is scaling, right? So like basically, since he was able to defeat this guy, yada yada, right?
Yeah, it's like stronger than him. So
Gotcha.
Toguro, very great villain, by the way, very great.
Goddamn, you're making me want to actually like buy the Yu Hakusho manga and reread it.
So you can see, like even Yusuke says the flick was like bullets.
Ha! Fuck yeah, bro. I bet you. You know what? It'll be just a side tangent. What'll be a really good death battle in the future? Fucking like in the future, like prime, like when Deku gets stronger versus Toguro, because Deku's doing the air flick bullets right now too.
I would love that. So, I think that's enough to gauge just how much durability. Well, I mean, he has more, but so let's see here. So let's do. So Yusuke does have a slight regeneration. Here he's shot through like the arms, legs, and stomach, and all that stuff.
So with his regeneration, what are we talking here? Like it's just like abnormally fast healing type stuff.
Yeah. So like here, I'm sending it now. Like he instant, like I don't want to say instant, but it's pretty fast, I would say. So we have durability there. Now for how much like power he can dish out. He can shatter diamonds with his spirit gun.
Shatter. Whoa, I don't remember that part.
And Sensui does this as well. It was like...
Remind me of the context when he shattered diamonds?
It was a Yoki enhanced diamonds.
God damn.
And do you need me to post how hard diamonds are, or
I know how. I mean, it's the hardest substance on Earth, essentially. So, yeah. I think most people know that by now.
All right, there we go. So Yusuke's spirit gun was able to burst a mountain.
Rock. Wrong.
How big are we talking?
I'll say like medium size. Well,
you sending that?
I'll let you gauge. I'll first I'm sending him firing it, and then I'll show him destroying it. I'll let you gauge how big the mountain is. It should be like maybe small mountain.
Let's take a look at this here. I wish I could get like a sense. Okay, yeah. So I'm assuming that's trees and like forest down there, yeah.
Let me see.
Below the mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty big because it's like above the forest. It's like kind of looks like, reminds me of like a plateau. Because it's flat at the top. So yeah, I mean that's decently fucking big. I'll give him that.
So I guess I'll just go and talk about the type of like abilities he has. So we already talked about the spirit gun. Spirit gun is essentially a gun that because Yusuke, the power system in Yu Yu Hakusho, I believe is key. I have to remind myself, but he basically Yusuke was trained by Genkai, who was wanting to find a replacement for her art, and Yusuke won the fight because Yusuke won the tournament. Just read the manga. It's great, by the way. So he was able to train his ki in a sense and gain certain attacks. So he has the ki, the spirit gun, which is what like his trademark. It's self-explanatory. He just shoots a ball of ki at a target like a gun. I tried it as a kid, just like Kamehameha. It's so you saw how much destructive. He also has the spirit shotgun, which is like where he doesn't necessarily use his fingers. He uses his whole entire fist, and it just shoots like a shotgun, essentially.
Oh, so I remember shotgun. I like shotgun.
So he also has spirit shotgun, which is more so like power of in close range. So
it just kind of disperses it, so it hits more targets rather than it's like not focusing. It's weakened when it hits, but it's more about like hitting more targets. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically what Ichigo has to deal with. I'd be interested to see how he would be able to. So I guess I'll pass the floor to you.
Okay, motherfucking dokie. Well, I'll start with basic shit. So first I'll start off by explaining the concept of Zanpakuto. With Zanpakuto, basically this is just kind of like a little bit of lore, but just so you know how Zanpakuto work. Every Soul Reaper is given like a blank slate sword that they call an Asauchi, and basically you pour your soul and your Reiatsu into this sword, and it creates another living soul off of your soul, and that soul becomes your weapon. That's like, so everyone's Zanpakuto, their weapon is a soul. It is a living being. It's a cognizant thinking being, right? So one of the things I love about Bleach is the way you train in Bleach is not by lifting weights or running or any of that shit. The best way to get stronger in the Bleachverse is actually to meditate and communicate with your Zanpakuto spirit. So literally, your strength is how good of a relationship you have with your Zanpakuto spirit. So if you don't get along with your Zanpakuto spirit, you don't want to talk to it, it doesn't want to talk to you, you're not going to get any access to its power. But if you take some time to understand it, and talk to it, then you will. And this is shown by how you kind of unlock its power. So first state of any Zanpakuto is just a sealed state. It's a normal ass sword, and it just looks like a normal katana, right? But past that, every Zanpakuto has a name and then a true name. So think like your first name and then your full name, essentially, right? So if you figure out your Zanpakuto's name and you call its name, you unlock your Shikai. So basically you're like, you'll be like Zangetsu, and then which is what Ichigo's Zanpakuto's name is, and then it would go to Shikai. So this is what Ichigo's Shikai looks like. Basically it looks like a big fucking butcher's knife. And his really only main power in Shikai is to shoot what he calls a Getsuga Tensho. And I will there's a sexy gif that I'm about to send to that right now. If you want to take a look at this gif, it really shows the destructive power of it. I want you to take some time I want to hear your thoughts on this gif.
I love it.
Wait for it. Boom!
Oh, okay. Seems like it has some nice range.
So that's the Getsuga Tensho. And it's basically, it really is honestly at its core just a basic energy slash, but it's pretty sexy. And that's his Shikai ability. That's one of his Shikai's abilities. One of the problems with Ichigo is he never really expanded a lot on his abilities. There's a couple variants, but not a lot, unfortunately. And that kind of comes down to Kubo as a writer, but again, we're going to death battle here. Now we go to full name. Ichigo's Bankai is Tensa Zangetsu, and it looks like this. Now, what I like about this is you're probably noticing, well, that's smaller, and it looks actually less intimidating than a Shikai. And that was what Kubo was going for. That was actually mentioned in the show. The dude he's fighting is like, that's your Bankai? It looks like a regular sword. It's lame, right? But basically what his Bankai does is it compresses all of his power into that tiny little blade. And the big thing with his Bankai is it makes, because he can do Getsuga Tensho in this form, and it's more powerful. But the big thing that his Bankai does is speed. It basically, it amplifies his speed. That's the big thing. It's basically like a big speed bump. So here's one of my favorite gifs for showing off Ichigo's speed. Take a look at this.
So he's able to make after images.
And, well, again, and you, to understand this too, you have to know how fast Byakuya is. Byakuya is one of the fastest captains in the verse. Like, there's actually the first time that they fight, there's a moment where he literally in the beginning of this arc, he literally speed blitzes past Ichigo and actually stabs him in the back before he even notices that he's been stabbed. And he's like, oh god, where did he go? Oh god, I've been stabbed. So yeah, and like I said, I will find this. I'm hoping if I can't find it, then I'll edit this out. But I think that the data book, which was written by Kubo, described Ichigo's Bankai as he can move with lightning speeds. So I'm gonna say bare minimum this is well, maybe not what you're seeing right now, but he can move lightning speed. Like that was said multiple times. So in this fight against Byakuya, he's fighting against Byakuya, and his Bankai, he's using his Bankai, and his Bankai is he controls a bunch of fucking razor blades, and they just fly through the air. And when the sunlight hits them, they glow pink, and they look like rose petals. So it's kind of like this beautiful death juxtaposition thing. So basically, literally, it's just like a bunch of flying razor blades. And so this is when he's fighting Byakuya. And like I said, his Bankai here, what you're seeing converging on Ichigo is a bunch of razor blades, right? This is when Ichigo goes, first goes Bankai, and he basically just disappears from Byakuya's sight, just ping, like that, like ting, like faster than eyesight, obviously, and then just immediately shows up at his throat here. And he even says, like, I didn't have time to react. Again, so there's another idea of what, how fast we're looking at here. Now, we do got to talk about his holification. Basically, consider, so, when you, level up in an RPG and basically, all your stats get, a boost?
Yeah.
That's kind of what holification does. So, I'm going to send you a GIF just to get the general idea of what it looks like, and then I'll explain what's actually happening here. So, you see that?
Yeah, the hollow mask.
Yeah. So here's what's happening here, okay? Basically, it's explained in the story that, and this is actually, like Aizen has this speech where he's basically like, no matter how much you train as a Soul Reaper, You can train all you want. You will always reach this limit, this upper ceiling, wall of how powerful you can get. You'll become a master in something, and you'll never be able to improve anymore. You know, he's saying, like, there's a certain amount of good you can get, and then, like, you can't get any better after that, right? And that kind of depressed him, because he was, like, a master in everything, Aizen. And he discovered that the only way to continue to get more powerful past that limit was to basically merge, like break down the walls between the two races, Soul Reapers and Hollows. So basically, if you half and half, if you kind of become a hybrid between a Hollow and a Soul Reaper, you can break that limit of strength. So this goes both ways. There are Soul Reapers that become more like Hollows, and those are called Vizards. And there are Hollows that become more like Soul Reapers, and those are called Arankars. But it works for both ways. But Hollows that become more like Soul Reapers are crazy powerful. Same here. So basically, again, this is just a big stat boost. It increases his durability. It increases his speed. It increases his strength. Just like by just a basic buff essentially. Okay. Let's see here. And it looks badass to boot, like any power up should. It helps and it looks badass. God, I love the hollow masks. It's one thing I always loved about Bleach. The hollow masks were fucking kick-ass. Okay. Alright. Moving on. Now, you were talking about regeneration.
Yeah.
So, this is... I don't know if this might be an outlier, but I do want to mention it. Basically, Ichigo's relationship with his inner hollow is kind of like the whole Kurama Naruto thing, where basically, like, obviously his inner hollow doesn't want to die, and his inner hollow for a while was trying to take over his body, and Ichigo kind of had to, like, show him who was boss, like no, I'm the stronger one here, kind of thing, right? But Ichigo's hollow always said, basically, like, okay, you win for now, but if I ever sense any weakness, I'm gonna... Basically, the metaphor he used was, you're the king and I'm the horse, but if I ever sense weakness in you, I'll buck you off and stomp your skull in. And...
Damn.
Yeah, oh yeah. And, this is, a hole in Ichigo's chest that happens, when Ukiura shoots a Sero right through his chest. And what happens after... And remember what his hollow said. He said, hey, if I ever sense weakness in you, I'm going to take over your body. In this fight, this happens. And let me show you a quick thing of what that looks like here. Okay, so here is... It'll fucking load. Here we go. So here's what most of the fandom calls full hollow Ichigo. And enjoy that fucking feat of him just casually just by swinging back his sword, he does that. Battle. Thoughts on that, Thurman? This is after his hollow takes over his body, because as you can see from the top here, he almost dies in this battle. So his hollow takes over his body.
So would it be like a Kurama type thing to where, like, if Yusuke was, like, let's say Yusuke got like a lucky shot or whatever and pierced like a hole through him, he would still be alive via Ukiura?
Basically, what I take from this is, in order to kill Ichigo, you'd probably have to fucking go for the head.
Okay.
Because his hollow can regenerate. Like, and this is what I'm going to show you the next thing here. That hole in his chest. Here it is. That hole in his chest after this battle just heals right up. Instantaneous regeneration by the hollow. And again, it's not like, to clarify, there are weaknesses to instantaneous regeneration, right? So if you destroy enough of his organs at once, he won't be able to regenerate them. So if you really, like, pound his organs, he won't be able to regenerate them in time. If you fucking bop his head off, that'll be a kill, shit like that.
So honestly, from what I'm getting from both of these characters, I'm honestly seeing a tie here, or a stalemate.
Well, I ain't done, boy. It's interesting to hear, though. So let's see here. Now, one of my favorite speed feats. This is from the final arc, so we know it. This is like Max Series Ichigo here. This is him. Basically, he's flying down from the sky. He's basically in like an upper palace. Like he's in like a floating palace thing in the sky, right? and this is him flying down to try to help, right? And he needs to get there quickly, so we know this is probably him flying as fast as he can. So this is a first person. This is a view from his perspective. This is him flying through the sky, but I think the really impressive thing here is the double sonic boom we have here of him fucking dropping from the sky. So we know that that's at least like what would that be like? Is that like Mach 2? Is that how that works? At least from the boom boom.
Looks like hypersonic.
Well, whenever there's a boom like that, that means it's at least past set speed of sound. At least.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that for the audience. And then so what's great about this is so he's flying towards the ground, right? And this is actually quite funny. So Ichigo, in this instance, he's flying so fast that he actually crashes into this building. But what's great, so notice how far away that building is, right? Like, you see how far away that is, right? Like, scale-wise?
Yeah.
So, okay, so notice how far away that is, right? Very next page, and this is actually one of my favorite speed. So they're like, wow, what an idiot, right? This is the next page. Boop! He's just there. No sound was made. He's just there.
I think I might want to read Bleach now.
I fucking told you! Bro, you've been dissing on Bleach for so long. It's not that bad. The characters aren't amazing. Some of the side characters are great, but the fights were always good. If you want just like a badass shut your brain off manga, it's good. And the art's amazing too. But no. Like, honestly, Bleach is like such a nostalgic manga for me. It's honestly what got me into anime. So yeah, it's got a special place in my heart. It's definitely worth reading for sure. Oh yeah, so this is just kind of like a cherry on top for durability. There's this thing that he unlocks in the final arc called Blut Vein, which is it's German. But basically it's basically like utilizing the reishi in your blood to like harden certain sections of your blood under your skin to like kind of stop stop from being stabbed, you know. So it like helps stop from being stabbed. It's kind of a way to just kind of like harden your body underneath your skin using your blood, essentially. So this was someone that was trying to stab him like he was on the ground and he was trying to stab him like right in the neck, just like right in the fucking neck, and he uses Blut Vein to stop that from happening. And you can kind of see the veins. You see.
Let me see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's the thing he can do as well. Now, obviously, this can be broken through. It's not like impenetrable or anything. It's just kind of like a basic hardening. So yeah, I mean, I guess where should we go from here in terms of debate? What's your thoughts from what I've shown you?
Before we begin, I messed up on one of my scans here.
Okay.
I misread. So the one where I said where Yusuke's spirit gun destroyed the mountain. Actually, that wasn't. So it's still a decent mountain durability feat because Yusuke survived the punch from someone who destroyed that mountain. I'm saying the scan now.
Oh, you know what? While you're doing that, let me get some shit that Ichigo's destroyed because I didn't give you much of Ichigo's destructive capabilities.
So I'm sending that right now.
So what was your mistake again? What was the issue?
So Yusuke didn't destroy the mountain that I sent with his spirit gun. I fucked up on that. My apologies.
What was it actually?
The person he was fighting destroyed the mountain with like his punches were enough to destroy the mountain, and Yusuke was able to survive punches from him.
Okay.
It's like another.
It's less of a him destruction feat, and more of a him durability feat.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna post a destructive feat for Yusuke for spirit gun because I fucked up. I used the wrong one.
So here is, and this is real early Ichigo too. What I'm about to send. This is Ichigo using a Getsuga Tensho, and in the middle there is them, and then that's him that's splitting the fucking ground behind them. So you can scale by their size in the split. I like to hear your thoughts on it when I send them.
So it was. So are you sending one more?
Well, no, I just wanted your thoughts on that split. I might send a couple more. I just was curious. And
can I have the context of?
The context was he was training with Uehara because this is actually the first time he ever uses Getsuga Tensho. and Uehara was trying to bring him out of it, or bring that power out of him, and he was kind of like goading him and fucking with him, like, oh, come on, like he fucked with him mentally, and like was kind of like trying to like bring that like anger and like power out of him. So basically there's this shot, and then Uehara's like, damn, I almost died there, so if that would have been bad if I didn't dodge it or something like that. It was some shit he said like that. But so that was the context there. That was like the first time he unleashed it, and then it was this epic like pan back from Kubo where he just showed that.
So that's interesting. So with that, I actually kind of counter with Yusuke's spirit gun.
Probably.
Here.
I mean, well, because here's what's interesting, right? His spirit gun is like a Kamehameha style wave, right? But Ichigo's is like a slice. So could we make the argument that Ichigo's slice would kind of like, since it's sharper and like more refined, would it like pierce through the wave? Hmm?
Well, I think it depends on which. I feel like it would be not really much of like a slice, but I feel like because unless Genshigo Tensho has been known to be able to like because if what I've seen from what I've seen from Bleach, it's not really like a cut per se. It doesn't like the damage that it deals doesn't necessarily like cut. It's more so like blunt force. I could be wrong.
The Gezuka Tensho is usually shown as like a burning damage. Like it burn. Here, I'll show you the damage it does to. It's like kind of like it almost looks like a burn. Sometimes it cuts. Here, I'll show you what it did to Grimmjow.
So I'm gonna send a feat for Spirit Gun. So this is what after Yusuke got his little like angry boost after after Toguro at 100% seemingly killed Kumabara. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
If you look and see, it basically ripped. The Dark Tournament is on an island. It was basically big enough to, like, essentially, like, I wouldn't say destroy part of the island, but considerably like fly off of it and like make it like a shockwave.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm gonna send them now. Like it literally like blew like out of it, and like the water pulled up, and you could see that it got bigger over time as it traveled. Yeah, these last three. And you can see like the damage that it left. Togashi style.
Oh God, that's sexy. Okay, yeah. So that is quite.
So to be fairly honest with you,
I gotta be So I think that Yusuke's destruction, like what he can destroy, is probably a bit more than Ichigo's. What would you say?
So yeah, I would say so. What's the most
I can't recall a time where Ichigo did a Getsuga Tensho and it like fucking went that far and it was like destroying whole forests and shit. Like I mean like they go decently far, but like not like that far.
So what I see here is the fact that if your statement about the Ichigo being lightning speed is true, which I don't doubt that it is, but if let's just say it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I mean, I know I have the data book where it said lightning speed. I just gotta see if I can find a picture of it.
So they're both equal in speed, so it would be equal there. So when it comes to durability, I don't feel like Yusuke has because Yusuke is a very like blunt force like punch like Goku style like fighting.
You see, I was kind of wondering if my sword would kind of be unfair in this, since your punch, I'm sword.
So he can deal the damage. He's been able to compete with some people who have enough strength to destroy islands. He's been able to tank island level attacks. I'm sorry, mountain level attacks. People who've been able to punch mountains away and stuff like that. So you said Ichigo's regen. So I feel like with how good Yusuke's regen is.
You mean Ichigo's?
Yeah, well, yeah, but so what's his like? Besides like that, what's his best durability? Like who could you scale him to that like destroyed like anything close to a mountain or above it or some sort?
He has fought Kenpachi, who, I mean, to be fair, this was later. Okay, so he fought Kenpachi pre-time skip, and Kenpachi post-time skip destroyed a meteorite. But, so, I mean, that might be a bit unfair.
So has he fought Kenpachi since then?
No, just that one time pre-time skip.
Oh, well then can we count that?
I can show you what Kenpachi, here, let me show you what Kenpachi did pre-time skip. It's still pretty impressive.
So how much, because, meteors can range in size.
I'll show you.
For like how much, how much they can destroy.
And again, but this is post-time skip guy anyway, but here, just satiate your curiosity, I'll show you. It's actually quite, I like how Kuba did this. It makes it easy to scale because you can compare it to the size of Kenpachi here. So you can see the little dot here. The little dot on here is the kind of like the human size, and then you can compare.
Mm-hmm.
Like the little, so yeah, hold on. Here it comes. All right, so here's the meteor he destroyed, and that's him jumping up to destroy it. Now remember, this is Kenpachi. This is post time skip Kenpachi, and he did beat pre-time skip Kenpachi. Now they were. Obviously, there's a significant gap in that power there, but maybe if you could maybe say 25% that for his pre-time skip. I'll show you some.
So are you going to count that? Is that the meteor?
That's the meteor, and you can see that's him, and then the meteor.
Well, that's really, really big. So, okay.
But again, that's post-time skip. There's a significant difference there.
Oh, so you're not gonna count that?
I just think keep it in mind that he did beat that guy pre-time skip, but Kenpachi did make significant leaps in power through the time skip. So, it's kind of it's fucky. It's hard to say.
Okay. So, honestly, I have to call this one a tie. Well, David's the judge, so he'll probably
do a tie. That's bullshit. Okay, listen. So here's what I'm going to come down to, right? Durability. Can you say that Yusuke's durability is as good as what I showed with the regeneration?
Yes, most definitely.
Really? Show me.
Because I haven't seen the Getsuga Tensho destroy anything remotely as large as something that. Plus Yusuke, Yusuke has taken lightning before, and lightning is not. We'll probably have to look at how much lightning has destroyed, but if we take into account,
Ichigo's taking lightning too. I can find this fight against Candace.
Yeah. Boys, we're gonna have to accept that tie.
No, dude, we always try to do ties. We're not doing tie. It's not. There's no way it's this consistently a tie. You know what I mean?
We haven't had a tie in a long time, though.
Nah, fam. You always try to go for a tie, bro.
Well, because honestly, this is one of these fights where they both have good regen. They both have attack. I
found the picture where it says he's lightning speed in the data book, at least. Here, I'll show you.
So, David, it's your call here. You're the judge.
Do we have to do another fucking tie?
No, we're not. David, shut up. You stay down. Down, boy. I got this. I'm gonna. Okay, so let's go, because what we did with Noble I thought was really good. We went category by category to because I will tell you, as a Bleach fan, the most. David, help me. You Bleach too. What's the most you've seen a Getsuga Tensho destroy? I know it leveled a chunk of forest in the Fullbring arc, but nothing compared to what you showed me with Yusuke. It significantly burned and cut a little bit through Grimmjow's Grimmjow, who is an Arrancar, and Arrancars have something called Hiero, which is iron tough skin. But nothing like the fucking DC you're showing with, because Yusuke gets to early DBZ levels with sometimes.
Yeah, he gets to I would say, Saiyan Saga.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm gonna say So let's just I like to go through like the categories and like do like a win for each. So hold on. So I'm gonna say destructive capacity or DC, I guess is what you call it.
Yeah, goes
so
to
DC Yusuke. I'm just gonna type this out real quick. So DC is Yusuke.
Yeah.
Yusuke, I can't spell. Speed. Now, I want to focus a bit more on speed. Are you sure they're exactly tied? I mean, like, what's the best speed you have for Yusuke? Best speed feat?
The lightning. That's his best speed feat.
Man, I'm just trying to think.
I'm telling you right now, sound barrier speed is not above lightning.
Well, I'm aware of that. Did you see the thing I sent that confirmed lightning, by the way?
Yeah, wait. Let me double check just to make sure it's the right one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that quality though.
Well, again, that was just the first thing that came up in Google Images. Forgive me. I actually have that actual data book at home. I can get a better one when I go home. I'm just.
How will we get it up?
Well, that probably won't happen.
David, Red's trying so hard not to do a tie, even though he's gonna have
ties
to.
Are fun. I hate ties. That's the most No, that's no fun. So I'm just looking through Okay, I was looking through speed feats one more time here. What I would like to show is a speed and accuracy feat at least, like an accurate but also speed, which could give him. I just think it's kind of important to note. So when Byakuya is fighting, remember I told you there's like it's just like a massive razor blades that. You remember I told you that it's like a massive razor blades that he just kind of flies at people. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
So. This is a moment that I always find pretty cool, where it shows kind of like his speed and precision in sword swinging. During this same fight, this is a moment where all of those like razor blades are about to converge on him, and Ichigo does this, right? And literally he bats away each one of them, and it's said that there's thousands of these things, right? So each individual one he bat them away.
So, but how fast were those razor blades? Like, how fast were they?
They were. It's hard to completely clock, but like, basically, in Shikai mode, it was easily catching up and outspeeding Ichigo. In Bankai, originally, he was speed blitzing Byakuya, but then Byakuya started using his hands, like motioning them with his hands, and he basically said that. I'm trying to remember the exact quote. I don't know if he said twice as fast, but he said specifically, I'll get it up for the video, but he said that when I use my hands, I'm able to move them like some amount faster, right? And then it started actually like kind of making Ichigo sweat a bit, right? So I would imagine approaching the lightning speed, not fully there, but like because it was like Ichigo was like, oh gosh, this is a little, you know what I mean? So it'd probably be a bit lower than what Ichigo can move in Bankai. And then that's just like an accuracy and speed and sword swinging feat that I thought would be important as well. So I guess. I don't know. I have a hard time immediately saying equal in speed. I don't like it.
He's gonna.
Oh, I forgot about this. Oh, thank you, me. Thank you, me, for remembering this. Here is a moment where Ichigo clashes with Aizen, and their combined clash destroys a mountain in the background. That top of the mountain, it just. That's what that is.
Was there a view of the mountain beforehand, or was that?
Okay, say one more time.
Was there a view of the mountain beforehand, because I can know how big the mountain was?
Well, unfortunately, not necessarily, but you can tell it's the little explosion lines is what you're mostly getting there. I mean, I can see maybe there was. It's been a while since I read that, but like I can I'll trace it out for you, like what it's. Can you not see the little explosion lines there?
Yeah, I can see it.
That's kind of what it's going for here. I'll show you. It's supposed to be like whoop. Hold on, let me whoop. It's not crazy huge. It's like a moderately big hill. You know what I mean? Because you can see how close they are to it. So the mountain that you showed was bigger, but keep in mind one that wasn't actually Yusuke.
Well, that's the rule. The big thing is more of a durability feat. Plus, he was able to essentially. Like, you know how they do, like, the little, where he punches, like, where they have, like, punch blow to blow type stuff. He was able to take those punches as well. Like he was able to
well,
match
yeah,
those
yeah, no,
punches.
I agree with you. I was just saying that, like, the fact, how do I put this? I think that it comes out to about equal because, like, your mountain that you showed was much bigger, but it was only a chunk that was destroyed. This was a lot more of it, so I don't know.
Wait, I just found it. I just found a legit mountain busting feat for the spirit gun.
Oh, do tell. Oh, I see.
So
Do show.
He fought it. He fired it at Sensui, and it reached a faraway mountain and it destroyed it completely.
Okay, let me
Thank
click
God.
that. Oh, hold on. I need to do a little fucking math too. He did react to a. I don't know what is 500 times the speed of sound.
You probably had to put that in a.
I'm gonna do that because he did react to a guy that claimed.
Maybe
what?
Maybe that's hypersonic or massively hypersonic.
Yeah, well, he reacted to a guy that claimed that his sword was able to move at that 500 times the speed of sound. Basically, his power was that his sword like extended, like it was like think like you hold the sword and then it just like lengthens. You know, it's like it like spears itself, right? Like you just hold it and it's like phew. And basically he did this thing where he was like, oh, you want to know how fast it is? And he just like he just took his hands and just clapped like 500 times that.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Let me Google. I'm curious. Okay, so 500 times speed of sound. I want to see what that comes out to be here.
Did you look at the scan?
Okay, that is 500. Okay, lightning's way faster than the 500 times per sound, so yeah, it means nothing then. So he's still faster. I just wanted to make sure. Well, most of that will be edited out. So yeah, so I will cap Ichigo's speed at lightning then for sure. From everything that I've just looked at there, I'm glad that I took the time to make sure though. So Ichigo's lightning, and we're sure, and we know that Yusuke's lightning. Now hold on, you said that he was able to react to the lightning, but he still got hit by it. Explain that. Explain that.
Well, it was at because Yusuke gets stronger as he fights. So it was more sense of like he was sent multiple. It was like sense of like he sent multiple lightnings.
So by the end, was he dodging the lightning?
Yeah, by the end he was dodging lightning. Yeah, let me find it for you.
If you can get me a page of that, that'd be great.
Yeah. Because he was able to, come on. Do a scan that even the dude said it was impressive. So he was able to dodge all, because he sent 6 lightning bolts at him. He was able to dodge 5 of them, but he got hit by one of them because it was the way that it was, you can see it in the scan too. The way that it was kind of like thrown strategically where the lightning bolts would hit him, like he would dodge into one, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like here, let me show you.
Okay, I just thought of something to bring up that it might be pretty good here. It looks like Yusuke is lightning reaction speed, but what I was showing you was not only lightning reaction speed from Ichigo, but lightning movement speed as well. Boom!
Boom, motherfucker.
He may be able to react, but he can't fucking fly around you like a motherfucker like Ichigo can.
You do realize that movement speed isn't really...
Yes, it is. I hate that argument, man. Sure, he can react to it, but like you realize, like if I can listen, man. If he can react to it, all he can do, if you can react, but you can't match the speed, you're gonna be trapped on defensive the whole fight. Am I right on that, there, David?
Yep.
Yeah.
God damn it!
Like,
That phone call.
But did you hear what I said at all, Thurman? I truly believe that. Because yes, reaction speed is really important. I agree, but if you have lightning reaction speed and not lightning movement speed, couldn't you at least grant me that Yusuke would kind of be trapped on the defensive if he can react to it but can't match that actual speed?
Well, my
pretty
issue
good argument.
my issue is the fact that at the end of the day you can have that movement speed, but at the end of the day, you still have to go in and try to attack. And Yusuke.
But that goes for Yusuke too. If he doesn't have that movement speed, at least I have it. You don't have it, so you can't attack Ichigo ever. So we have. My point I'm making is we have the same reaction speed, but Ichigo has better movement speed. Therefore, that's an advantage in speed on Ichigo's part.
That still puts at a tie because we still can't hit each other.
In what world is you have one thing, I have two things, a tie?
But that one thing is basically useless because of the one thing that Yusuke has, which is the reaction.
Like, people fucking you overhype reaction speed like it's like if you realize that, one, people can slip up, two, again, you're only on defense. Ichigo can actually be on offensive here and start to wear down Yusuke because he has the speed, you don't. All you can do is react. You will never be able to attack me back with the same amount of speed. We've been talking about your defensive speed. What's your attack speed? Do you have an attack that can hit someone that can move at lightning speed? Because it sounds like your reaction speed is the only thing lightning.
No, but that goes for offensive as well.
Really?
Really?
Okay, do you have him hitting someone that's confirmed lightning speed?
That whole fight with the lightning timer, his main thing is using lightning. And he's able to punch him because he's able to react, and because it's also combat speed and reaction speed.
Do you think there's any advantage that fucking Ichigo has to the fact that he can fly and Yusuke can't? Well, actually, wait, I have to be fair. David did say it was taking place in the Soul Society, and in the Soul Society, canonically, it's less flight and more like they can fly better in World of the Living than Soul Society, so I will nerf that a bit. But still, he's definitely faster, like movement speed.
Here, let me find it. Yu Hakusho.
This is triggering me.
Yeah. Yoshido Togage.
Put it in the Soul Society.
Good job. Good thinking, David. David saved your ass with that flight shit, man. By putting it in the Soul Society, he nerfed my flying.
I mean, flight doesn't really...
Yes, it fucking does!
It really does.
It's flight! Like, dude, can I tell you something? You just said that flight doesn't matter in combat. Do you realize that World War I happened because of a crazy innovation in combat? There's a reason that, like, a lot of troops, there were specific air troops. That's a huge advantage in combat. That's what World War I was about.
That's in real life, not fiction, fam.
Oh, okay. I'm about to just fucking cut you off and just never have you on a death battle like that. That
is the dumbest fucking thing you have
fiction
ever
is
said.
modeled off of real life.
Jesus Christ.
No, I don't think so.
Oh my good fucking god. I wish I could clip that.
How can you take models of lightning and be like, but not take the basic fucking general idea of flight is a clear advantage in a combat scenario?
Here we go. It was stated by the guy himself. Not just fast, lightning quick.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can we just talk more about this whole, you think that just because he has the reaction time, he's, like, invincible from being hit? Like, you realize that I can react to a fucking dodgeball, right? But if you throw enough dodgeballs over and over and over again, one's gonna fucking hit me eventually.
No.
Yes! God damn it.
Oh.
What do you mean no? Bro, okay, well, I'm trying to think, what can you react to? Okay. I'm trying to think. So you're telling me that, like, there's no room in this battle for maybe potentially the character being caught off guard, for potentially, like, hey, enough, I attack from different angles. You want to know what flight gives you? It gives you a million different angles to try attacking someone, okay? It's not just front or back, it's up. It's like, you get a whole fucking new dimension to attack from.
But you have to remember that Yusuke can react to that flight, and even if you say you do get a hit on Yusuke, he can still heal from that, because
So you think that if two people, so what if you watch a fight in a manga where two people have you know, they're equally fucking reaction speed. You think they're just gonna fight endlessly forever? No, eventually someone's gonna slip up. Think this recent Katakuri thing, right? Luffy was able to react to Katakuri's punches, that's why he kept dodging, but occasionally he got hit, because occasionally you fuck up. We're human, we're not perfect, we're not goddamn machines. It's not like, this code says that I can dodge this every single time without a doubt. We wear down, we make mistakes, we think of this wrong. How about Netero versus fucking Meruem? The whole thing was, Netero, if you look at it from a base thing, Netero was easily able to react to Meruem's attacks, but the whole point was Meruem was like, I'm gonna keep attacking at him from different angles until he fucks up, because he will fuck up, because people eventually fuck up.
Oh yeah. Oh, I just shot down your entire plan with just these.
I shot your. Oh, God damn it. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, this is sexy.
Show it, please. Also, I noticed you haven't even brought up the Mazaku. Like, is there anything that, like, does the Mazaku form help in this battle at all? I was expecting you to bring that up.
I was gonna bring it in, but I need to find the proper scans because the respect threads don't really show his demon form, which is surprising.
Well, does he fly in Mazaku? I don't remember, honestly.
No.
It's been too long, man. Like, I could see it.
I could go and skip to the Sansui fight where Yusuke just obliterates Sansui.
You do whatever you want, man, but you told me you just obliterated my argument with one shot, so show me. Where is it? Where?
Into lightning, and even stated by the guy whose lightning speed that his speed was increased.
You sending it?
Yep.
Alright.
Okay. Boom, boom. We'll send these two at a time.
I mean, if it says that and it looks like it's legitimate, I will shut up about this point. Okay. Alright. My fist to your face. He's fast. Okay. He's sending me off with his hand. Not just fast, lightning quick. So, implying that his punches are lightning speed, I suppose. Is that what to take from that? I'll give you that, especially considering that it'd be different if he just said he's quick, but the fact that he literally... Notice, I'm fair, dude. Like, if I see shit, I see shit, right? So, the fact
Same,
that...
dude.
Yeah, so it does say he's lightning quick. He's quick. Lightning quick. And then, you know, it's cue Seinfeld music to do. Yeah. I'll give you that he's probably able to, like, jump around and punch and shit, like, lightning speed. So, like, I can give you that. So, you've brought me back to believing in equal speed, I suppose. This has been I like this debate. This is good, actually. I know it's long as fuck, but it is good. Okay, so, fuck me. So, I guess there's really nothing to put anyone over anyone else in speed, is there here? So we can say equal speed, yeah, Thurman?
Yeah.
All right, equal speed. How about, what are we thinking durability-wise? We're not
I think
gonna go fucking equal, unless we
I
really
think Yusuke. If we take away
really?
regen,
Yusuke fucking shot through the heart, and you're too late. It's a song.
Well, the issue is. Well, I did show that he was able to be pierced through, you know, very lethal like areas to where you can die from.
Okay, can I ask you this? So when he got pierced like that, what was the process of him recovering? Did he keep fighting? Did he have to like heal normally? What was the process?
He kept fighting. I showed you that he got right back up afterwards, right? I showed that part.
I don't fully remember. Where would that be?
I'm scrolling up right now.
But I mean, like, did you see how big the fucking hole in Ichigo's chest was, man? Pretty big.
So yeah, I saw it. So if you scroll up a bit, it's where Yusuke gets shot, literally pierced through the stomach. Like you can see, like that's why I fucking love Togashi, man.
Can you resend that one real quick so we can compare hole sizes, giggity?
I mean, the whole size wasn't big, but it was enough to, like, even David can agree, it was enough to considerable damage to your stomach.
Okay, I just want to remind everybody, basketball-sized hole in Ichigo's stomach. Or not stomach, chest.
Size doesn't matter.
Chest. Here. Well, I'm gonna show it to you in the manga just so you can get a real good look. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm gonna take a look. All right, that versus this. Can
Yusuke... my biggest thing is the fact that Yusuke did that on his own while Ichigo needed like Yukiora.
It doesn't matter. That's part of. I agree. It makes Yusuke cooler. He's definitely a cooler character. But we're going on battle right now.
So I'm gonna ask you this. Can Yukiora do? Can Yukiora do that? Like I would say a second time.
Oh yeah, that was literally just a basic Sero from his finger, dude. Can I show you what Ukiora can do? I'm gonna show you what this might actually help me here. So hold on, Lanza de Alaran.
Keep in mind that if Ukiora is a separate person than Ichigo, his feats don't really count. That's
you
technically
fucking used a dude that Yusuke fought, bro.
No, but I'm saying if you're scaling, that's okay. But if you actually, if it actually shows that...
I'm scaling because I'm going to show you an attack that's basically a nuke in a stick, and then full Hollow Ichigo crushed it with his hand. So here, hold on a second. Gotcha. Okay, that's good shit. Okay, so here is an attack called Lanza de Alarampago. This is him starting the attack. It's a sexy-ass gif. Enjoy that, and then this is the explosion from it. Now, you can the buildings that you can compare it to were actually so big, and I'll put this in the video too. When they were running up towards it earlier in the arc, they said that it was so big that even after running for like hours, it didn't change sizes. Like it looked like a mirage, but it was just because it was so big. It was like it's as big as like an entire city essentially. Like think like Mexico City, like the real big city. Like that was kind of what people have like scaled it to in the past. So you can compare that. That explosion's quite big. Right, so that's what Ukiora does that, right? Did you watch both GIFs?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to try to find when Ichigo crushes that with his hand here. It claims it takes 3 days to walk from one end to another of this thing, of that building. 3 whole days. So you can kind of just get an idea there. So 3 days to walk from one end of that building to the other, and then you can see the explosion in comparison to that. Just for fun, here's a fucking clash they have with their Seros here. It's pretty big.
Let me see.
So check out that gif of the clash I just sent you, and then I'm going to send... This is the scale of that clash here. Now, take a look at that building, and as I said, that's a building that takes 3 days to walk from one end to another. There's your scale of that explosion. See that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty big explosion for a 3-day walk. Keep that in mind. And almost... I'm just going through this chapter here. I'm almost to the part. Oh, also keep in mind, too, that in this form, because of instantaneous regeneration, the only way you'd be able to kill him is by destroying enough of his vital organs at once, or decapitate, or like just crushing his head, right?
Well, I think Shotgun Wave would be able to do that.
Well, I want you to know that like for example, you cut off Ichigo's arm, it'd fucking regrow in this form, in this form specifically. But if he's about to fucking die, it would this form is what happens when he's about to die. Like that's what his hollow's like. Nah, fam, I'm not letting you die, because then I die. Okay, so he speed blitzes behind. I skipped a page here because he speed blitzes behind. He throws his arm. He throws his severed arm at him, and then he's like, "Fuck off!" And then here comes he grabs that same attack with the hand and crushes it. So I'm just saying, with that mixed with the fact that, listen, I don't see how you can possibly put Yusuke's durability on the same level as Ichigo's, because Ichigo, in this form, you'd literally have to you'd have to go for vital organs or head. Okay? Like, he doesn't have to worry about bleeding out in this form. He doesn't have to worry about limbs coming off in this form. You see what I'm saying? I think durability is clearly on Ichigo's favor here.
Honestly, this, like, even then, that thing you showed could be argued a shared feat, because it took both of their powers to do that much damage to that thing. If you argue the clash.
Right. But that was a clash of that wasn't Ukiora's strongest move. His strongest move was the spear thing.
And my issue with the power up thing the second GIF you showed was that it only really destroyed a building, not really much of the city. And
you're aware that it was thrown very far away from it, right? I'm talking about he didn't throw it at the actual city. They're standing on the city. He threw it away from the city. So I'm talking about comparing the hold on. I'm talking about comparing the sizes of the explosions here. He didn't throw it at the actual city. And considering that he threw it away from the city, and just that was the shock wave. That was the shock wave from the explosion that destroyed that one building, by the way. That wasn't the actual explosion. That was the literal air pressure from the explosion. Okay? The explosion didn't come anywhere near the fucking city. That was just the wind pressure, bro. You can watch it, if you ever want to fucking look it up, literally, as Uryu and Orihime are down there, the fucking wind pressure from it alone blows them fucking, a couple 100 feet and slams them into a wall.
That's not really my issue. My issue is the fact that it doesn't seem like it destroyed the city. The shock
because it wasn't thrown at the city, dude. It was thrown hundreds of miles away from the city. He tried to throw it at Ichigo. Look at the manga panels I just showed you. He tries to throw it at Ichigo. Ichigo dodges it, and it goes way, 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 way far away.
Redd, listen to me.
What? Are you not seeing the point? You're saying it didn't destroy the city. He wasn't fucking throwing it at the city.
Are you listening? Okay.
Yes. All right, go.
So, my issue with the was the GIF that you showed. I never said that it didn't. I never said it wasn't thrown at. That's not my point. You were saying that the shockwave was like city level. That was what you said, did you not?
I said city level, but by city I meant I totally misworded that. People, I've read a bunch of forums where people try to scale it. All we really have off of that is it's a 3-day walk. So I'm thinking a really big city, right? So a lot of people were scaling it to Mexico City, which is the largest city in the world, which is as big as some states. So I was thinking more a mid-state in, a mid-sized state in America is what I was more thinking it is. This building.
My thing is the fact that you said it's city, this destructive wave was city. However,
big city. Big.
It didn't show what basically what it claimed. The GIF only showed it destroying parts of a building,
because it was thrown in the middle of a desert.
But then why?
I want you to understand. I get where you're coming from, but I need you to think outside the box for a second, okay? It was thrown hundreds of miles away from the city, and the fact that it was thrown hundreds of miles away from the city, and still, even though it was hundreds of miles away from the city, the air pressure from the explosion, just the air from the explosion, destroyed some of that building. You can logically assume that if it was thrown at the city, of course it would be destroyed, because the explosion didn't even touch anything. All of the explosion was in the desert. The only thing that touched the city was the air pressure, and that even destroyed some. If it was thrown at the city, then of course it would be fucking eviscerated. It's just logic. You understand where I'm coming from? Because again, the explosion was in the middle of the goddamn desert, hundreds of miles away, because Ichigo dodged it. That's my thing, right?
I'll bite on that, but
I mean, if you ever read Bleach, you'll see what I'm talking about. Again, he throws it way far, because like I said, this is Hueco Mundo, where most of the world in Hueco Mundo is just a barren wasteland desert. It's the world of the Hollows. It's their equivalent to the underworld or hell, kind of. I know there is a hell in Bleach, but this is the one that actually kind of gets visited. It's the world of the Hollows, essentially. Think Grimm from Ruby, if they had their own little world, kind of like that, right? Just the world of their fucking crazy spirits.
Didn't we only ever see the actual hell in that fucking canon movie?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was mentioned once in the manga, but either way, point being, most of Hueco Mundo is a desert. So all I'm saying is Ichigo barehanded took that in his form. Now, I'm not going to be an idiot and say, because I think that I think that it's kind of like, it's not like he took that entire explosive force in his hand and destroyed it, because I'm looking at this almost like a stick of dynamite, right? Like I can crush a stick of dynamite in my hand maybe, but that doesn't mean I can take the explosion of it. So I'm not trying to be an idiot and be like, oh, it's the same thing, because clearly when he crushes it, there's like a force, but it's not like the same force. So I just thought it was interesting to bring up. I guess I just think that durability-wise, comparing a dude that can absolutely die of blood loss, that if you cut off his limb, he would not be able to recover from that, to a guy who could, there's a big difference there.
See, the issue is...
Thurman, listen to me. All I'm asking for is this one category. We've been on durability because, like, you're trying to take everything. Like, you took this, we tied on speed. I think that Ichigo takes durability. And then, you know, we go through all of them. You'll probably still win the goddamn battle. I just think it's a sweep that Ichigo is durability here.
I have to agree with Redd here.
Why, if you won't accept the tie, why should I have to accept this because you want a little leeway?
No,
that's not what
but it's not just because I want it. I actually believe it. I wouldn't be that petty. But to me, I assumed that you were being petty because, to me, it's just we got a dude who can literally regenerate limbs.
Can you regen limbs?
My only issue is that's just regen. It's not necessarily durability.
Okay, but I guess I get where you're coming from, but I'm factoring it in the same thing because, like, you cut off a limb, ain't gonna be a problem.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Regen is completely different than durability. For example, let's take...
Okay, well, where do you want to factor that in, then?
Let's take characters like Deadpool for a second. And characters like Deadpool and Wolverine, etc. They have taken blows that their bodies just completely, like, fall off. Just, like, completely, just, like, you know, attacks. But they survive that because they can regen from that instantly.
Uh-huh.
Same thing with that. But certain blows, like I can even argue that Yusuke could knock out Ichigo if you couldn't necessarily kill him.
Well, again, I'm not. This isn't some overpowered bullshit. I'm like, again, focus on organs, focus on head. You got him. I'm just saying that in a blow for blow style situation, you know, Ichigo fucking has a sword. Let's say he cuts off Yusuke's arm. Yusuke punches off Ichigo's arm. One of those motherfuckers has a problem, the other one doesn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you. You're probably still gonna win. I just think that Ichigo has durability. Can we move on?
I'm giving it to Ichigo.
David officially says Ichigo. Fuck off.
Yeah, because that's bias.
Okay, you want me to fucking ask? Who do you want me to ask in the chat? Who do you want me to ask? I'm gonna ask one.
Oh, yes, one second. I'm saying fucking Ichigo because literally what was just stated.
All right, hold on. I got this. Hold on a second. Hey, Swan. Guy who has regen. Ichigo full hollow mode can regen versus Yusuke who can't ever regen. Who has higher durability? Ichigo or Yusuke? And Thurman, do you want to fucking add an argument to that so you're not saying I'm biased?
Not durability. That's just regeneration.
Okay, Thurman says it's not durability, it's just regeneration. We need a final. He says David's too biased. I need your thoughts on this so we can goddamn move on.
That's just a misconception. That's what a lot of people in the debate.
What would you say that we should put that under then? Because it's got to be. You can't just ignore it. It's got to go somewhere.
Obviously, we're not going to ignore it. That would be stupid of me to ignore the fact that he has. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that obviously, yes, Ichigo has way better regen than Yusuke. Obviously, from what
it just sounds like you're getting caught up in the semantics of does that fit in the category of durability. I'm just saying, like, that means he can take more because he can keep regenerating. That's like under the definition of durability, it's how much you can take. If he can regenerate, he can by definition take more.
This isn't Death Battle Homies, motherfucker.
No, Death Battle Homies would have said Ichigo could have taken a Kamehameha wave and come back from its heart.
Facts.
So, how dare you?
If they Kamehameha waved right through his heart, he probably would come back from that, actually, because it's literally what Ukiura did.
Pretty much.
You'd have to destroy, again, like, because it depends, like, I mean, again, it would depend on where it was and how many there were. If they did multiple, like, you just got to destroy enough of his vital organs at once, or head. I'm applying the rules that Ukiura had.
I feel like with Yusuke's shotgun, he can do that. With shotgun, he could do that.
Shotgun.
Okay, Noble says Ichigo. There's Noble and David. How about, can we get Swanee on this?
Again, Noble's biased to begin with.
You're gonna say biased? Okay, who is Swan biased? Is Swan? Will you believe it? Will you trust Swan? Or do I gotta go out and ask some random fucking heroin addict off the street? Will that help? Because there's plenty of them here. I'll probably see one out the window right now.
Thank God my window is shut, or else I'd have fucking bullets flying in right now. Shut the fuck up, Fred.
Would you really?
I don't know. I don't trust this neighborhood.
So
scared me
my
now.
say about this is this, okay? My final say, then whatever, I'll give it to you. Whatever, I'm not too beat up on it.
Thurman salt.
There's no salt. I'm just.
There's no salt.
You guys are getting really heated.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm just gonna play devil's advocate here, since you guys are getting so upset. I'm just gonna bite. So.
Well, I'm gonna see if we can get a threefer with Swan here.
So take out of Noble and David. Obviously, they're gonna agree with you.
I have no problem giving you every other category so far, dipshit.
Yeah, that's not biased. That's just like our opinion, dude. Oh, okay, Swan has a voice memo.
Ichigo, obviously, not only does he have high-speed regeneration, but he's also got an immense level of durability. You know, pretty much on par with Kenpachi. Not necessarily Kenpachi's level, because Kenpachi's just a pure beast, but, you know, it's similar enough.
You hear that, Thurman?
See, but you guys are relying too much on regeneration. That's my only thing.
Okay, well, that's 3 fucking judges.
Well, whatever, but I'm just gonna say my final thing for the audience, so those who agree with me can understand.
That's fine. I'm giving durability to Ichigo. Go ahead.
So regeneration, I guess some people would argue it ties into durability, but that's not necessarily the case. Durability is something that
2 goddamn hours.
Durability is something that you can technically survive. Amount of force that you can survive. Now, so regeneration kind of negates that. For example, like we've seen Deadpool and Wolverine take things that they like. For example, Wolverine has been able to come back from a nuke. Like his entire skin was torn off, but because of his adamantium, he was able to come back from that. Deadpool has taken blows. Like Deadpool has been ripped in half. He's been able to tank from the Hulk that's like crushed his head. Now
it's still durability. What's the definition of durability? Define durability, Siri.
If durability, he would be able to survive those cuts. Those cuts wouldn't affect him. That's durability. But they still were able to cut him in half. Just regeneration gated that. You still weren't able to. Essentially, you only able to survive that because of the regeneration.
Define
that's
durability.
Us.
The ability to withstand wear, pressure, or damage. So okay, I understand where you're coming from, right? You're trying to say, oh god, okay. So I get it, right? I understand. But even if you don't want to talk about the fucking regen, Ichigo has the Blood vein, as I talked about, where he can literally harden his blood underneath his skin. So if
how much has that taken? Like, how much is the person that he's able to harden?
Well, you know, I would argue the neck is the most vulnerable point of the body to stabbing, and it like literally a dude trying, like the main villain of the arc trying to like gung on his neck. It just.
But how much? But what's the strength feat of that main villain?
It's hard to say because you watch his the main villain. He was less about physical strength and more about bullshit Deus Ex Machina powers.
Well, then we can't really gauge that. But
that's true.
Whatever.
I understand.
I'll give you durability. So
thank you.
You guys can be happy. So you guys can be happy.
This is gonna be the most amazing death battle in the world because it's been going on for 2 goddamn hours.
So can we just David?
We're almost done. We're wrapping up the so we have DC, speed, durability. What else do we have to go through, Thurman? We're almost done with this.
Any hacks?
Hacks. Well, I think my hacks was the regen. I mean, they're like later on, like real near the end of the series.
How about his hacks with the bullshit?
Which one?
The fake Bankai and then the new.
No, that's not fucking. That's just stupid. Because that Bankai was no different. Like it was the same thing. It was just a design change. Ignore David.
Or any of the shit from the movies.
No, I don't count movies.
It's not really hacks, but Yusuke has a demon form, which
I mean, I was curious if the Mazuku added anything to this in your mind. I feel like it probably should.
So it all it does is really increase his stats.
Is it kind of like the Hollow Mask? In the sense that it's like an overall stat boost?
Yeah, it's an overall stat boost.
Okay, so like that's kind of because there's a reason that people match these characters up. There's a lot of similarities. A lot of people compare the full Hollow mode that I've been talking about to the Mozoku. But yeah, so what was I say? So
here's like the aftermath of a spirit gun after his transformation.
Yeah, see, so that which is why I gave anyway. So hold on, sorry, I was just David was coughing. Well, okay, so this is why I gave DC to Yusuke, like by far, easy. Just I guess it just depends on like if they're equal in speed. Your argument to me, keep this in mind. Your argument to me was that, oh, he can react, so Ichigo will never be able to hit him. So what's your argument with Yusuke ever being able to hit Ichigo? Then, with that logic,
right?
Well, that's what I was saying. It's a stalemate.
Oh, that is true. That's what you're saying. Okay, so I have so in our judgment here, durability Ichigo, equal speed, DC Yusuke. Is there any other category? I'm trying to remember like a respect thread. Like, what are the categories usually that you go through?
Just DC, speed, hacks, durability. So again, like I was saying earlier, stalemate.
Okay, but admit though that was even if we go stalemate, that was we got thorough on that shit.
Yeah. So someone was like, I don't want to stalemate. I don't want to
stalemate.
Yeah, but that makes.
Wouldn't you not agree that's a better video?
Yeah, fine, but still, fuck you because it's the end of stalemate.
I'm just gonna make sure. I'm gonna go through one more time. So, hollow form, right? Quincy, feats. Okay, so speed, strength and power, durability, skill. Yeah, I guess so.
David,
so I guess call. Really are we coming down to thinking that because speed's so equal, they have a hard time hitting each other?
Mm-hmm.
Because my DC is so low, it really wouldn't be able to. Even if I did hit you, it wouldn't hurt you too bad. And because
and I still have like decent regen enough to where I can still regen from.
And then and then your DC is higher, but my regen is higher. God damn it, bro. Thurman, you think if people watch through a 2-hour video and it ends in a tie, you don't think they'll find us and our addresses and just kill us?
Who cares?
I care a little bit.
Let them bitch. Hey, it's good for the views. If we die, David can pass on our legacy.
I don't know if I want to end this in a tie. I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay.
You got it. It's bittersweet. It was a good. Think of the build.
But no,
right?
wait, hold on, because eventually someone's got to get tired. So you know what we should go to? Endurance. Who's got better endurance? That's what's going to come down to.
What?
Are you sure you want to do that?
And what is Ichigo's longest fight?
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to do that?
I do.
Yusuke has Ichigo ever been trained before? Has he ever been like actually
training? He was trained by Uehara, and that was his main master. And Uehara is one of the top like 10 in the verse, I'd say, easy.
Although we don't know if he's fucking alive.
Yeah, now he might have died at the end of the series, but it was a goddamn good fight.
I have so many questions.
Rest in peace, Askin Naklevar. So give me your endurance feat. That's how we're ending this off. Because if we can't come to a good endurance conclusion, because I feel like it would come down to who'd get tired first at this point.
All right.
Teach me, Dewey. I'm gonna Google Ichigo endurance feats, and you should Google Yusuke endurance feats.
I
So
want to end myself right now.
Shut up.
Yusuke was able to run for 5 days straight at S-class speeds.
5 days straight running.
I do gotta think. Hold on, I'm trying to remember. How long were they running in Wakemundo? Because they were running. You know how hard it is to run in sand? They had to run in sand.
I hate sand.
There was a preview of the next Bleach Bridge. They took a big hiatus. And I watched it live. Remember they were filming it.
Yeah.
Did you see the part where it was like sand, natural enemy of friction?
So look at the feeds I posted, Brad.
What's happening? What? Where?
Plus he was able to plus up his another great endurance feat. He was able to fight someone for 60 hours.
60 hours?
Fucking
Yep,
hell.
that's all the scan.
See? God. Okay, let me just do one final check to see if I got anything on that level, and if not, I might honestly have to give it to you. This is why you don't fucking say stalemate immediately, bro.
Fucking thank you.
You argue enough, you come to an actual fucking conclusion.
See,
this is why I despise the fucking debating groups, because so many times they'll be like, I'll just end it in a stalemate.
Yeah, that's the fucking, that's the easy way out, dude. That's like the people that don't want to even try. That's bullshit.
no, that's the people who just don't want to deal with everyone complaining bullshit. You have to remember where I debate open threads at.
Immense endurance. Okay. So, endurance. Continue fighting many injuries. Life force. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do here is just my fellow Bleach fan, David. David, do you remember any scenario where Ichigo, it was like specifically stated that Ichigo fought for like an extended like amount of hours? Because I can't honestly think of one.
I cannot.
Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to... last question I have for you, fucking Thurman, is when Ichigo gets tired, I guess just sell to me Yusuke having enough, like what attack would he do to just like either
shotgun, because we know that he has enough abilities to, his aura is enough to shatter mountains, because
that's true.
Gun. So what I can see happening is him Ichigo getting tired, and then with one final shotgun with enough force of a mountain, he could burst throughout his body, hitting multiple parts of his body. That way he can't regen fast.
Okay.
And then he just keep beating him down.
And with that, after a long, I believe it would go. You're gonna take my. And with that, I say after a long battle, probably lasting at least a good couple hours, Ichigo would be very well matched, and Ichigo would probably begin to be the first one to slow down, and Yusuke would come out on top. God damn. The length of this battle can be reflected by the length of this video.
2 hours and 3 minutes before editing.
Jeez. Togashi wins again. You know I can let Togashi children
again
lose
though.
like that?
Again, you started this by wanting to end it in a fucking stalemate, you fucking piece of shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would get so heated and try to.
It hurts when you realize that you're actually a shitty debater, even though you love doing it so much.
Oof. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, wait, whoa. I wanted to have one more conversation with Thurman before we end the video here. Yeah. I would say that was fucking good. I really enjoyed that, and good debate, Thurman. There was some moments where you said some stupid shit, but you know what? You conceded when 3 goddamn judges agreed with me. I don't know how more unbiased I can try to get. Also, fuck you. And goodbye, everybody.